Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's weigh-in day. Yeah, weigh-in day. Man, it's been a tough week on my speaking voice. I had I had a bunch of training I had to do, so I was speaking the majority of the day, and then you add to that the podcast. Man, my voice has been pretty strained for the entire week. And I had tried these things. It's called Ricola Throat Balm. And I could see that these are going to have to become a regular part of my life, because all of this talking when I'm training new employees, all of this talking that I do now, it's definitely contrary, and there's going to be a direct fight between being able to have a voice healthy enough to record a podcast versus healthy enough to train the employees to do what they need to do at my job. So there's going to be a dance, and the Ricola Throat Balm was pretty helpful in that, and I will continue to use those. But if you guys listened to the podcast this week, I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't listened yet, I hope you enjoy it when you do. It's not often that I really talk about what I'm currently doing, because, you know, people don't really relate. People are at different points in their journey. And so it's in order to hope that you can relate, I always pick parts of my journey that happened in the past and talk to you about how I dealt with those moments. But I hardly ever talk about what I'm currently after. And maybe you might listen and say, well, I can't relate to this. But it's not invaluable. I mean, the information I'm coming out with is not at some point that, it's not like at some point it won't be something valuable for you to know, even if it's not something you would think about doing now. It's definitely valuable information to know this exists. And so if you're new here and you have no idea what podcast I'm talking about, it is the Ranting Weight Watcher podcast, and the episode is 231 in particular. But you could even start at the beginning, and you would find probably stuff that you're more related to your current situation. If you're just starting out in a healthy weight loss program, you're trying to become healthy, you know, you could go to episode 1 and see my entire chronology of everything I did. I mean, I started the podcast after having been in the system 2 years. So I had already built up some success, and then I was just starting to spread the knowledge of my story in that moment. But you can follow essentially everything how my mind has evolved in regards to the weight loss journey through my podcast. And you can start with episode 1, and you can grow, or you can just take notes, right? However it works for you. But you can see my entire evolution in 231 episodes of what I used to think was important and what I currently think is important. And look, in the end of this all, we're very geared to pay so much attention to a very particular scale number. And in reality, it's wonderful to achieve your goals. It's wonderful to create a scale number. But in the end, the one number we put most value in and pay the most attention to is not the number that dictates what real health is. And real health in reality, and we live in this world where everything is so normalized, for me to even say what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy. But real health is never actually sitting in an office where a man or a woman with a white coat walks in and tells you what's wrong with you. That's what real health is. It's not a scale number. It's not anything else. It's living your life in a way and eating and giving your body the nutrients it needs so that you can essentially be voluntarily going to that office and say, hey, this is my one visit of the year. Let's do some blood work and see how I'm doing. And literally that man or woman in the white coat never sees you other than that. This is so ludicrous to people, but it's real. It's real. The life of that is real. I haven't had a cold in years. I haven't had sniffles, nothing like that in years. Okay? And so everything I have done in the past 6 years of my journey here has proved to me that if you feed your body based on the nutrients it needs versus what you feel like eating, you will transform your life. And the benefits from what I'm saying to do here aren't presented in 1 week at a time. They're presented all of the sudden so many years later. And we have to take our eyes off of the current circumstance and know that there's a bigger promise here. There's a bigger promise. And this is what it's about. It's about getting to the promised land and being what is real health, not just maintaining what people in white coats say is normal. And the fact still remains is 70, 80 years ago, the ailments that come with age now didn't exist then. And the one thing that didn't exist then also is the convenient foods that came along with it. Right? The convenient fast food and processed food and all these other things. When all of those got introduced and we started living life for convenience rather than for nurturing or nourishing ourselves, that's when all of the illnesses came with it. So it may sound ludicrous to say that you can live a life like this, but I'm telling you that it's possible. I'm telling you that eating in a way where you're not seeking pleasure is possible. Eating in a way where you don't need people in white coats is possible. And it just because, what the world calls normal is normal doesn't mean you should accept it. Because everything I've done to get to where I am in 6 years is worth it for anybody to do. I decided I was worth it. I decided I was willing, and I made a plan and executed my plan. And that's literally what this is all about. It's learning what is necessary, what is unnecessary, and making the sacrifice. Because there is sacrifice involved in this. And anybody who tells you that you don't have to sacrifice, they're just prolonging your real life here. You're prolonging your real life. Because real life begins when you're no longer worried about anything else. When you can actually say, oh man, I don't have to concentrate so hard on what I have always been concerned about. And what can I do instead? And suddenly the world opens itself to you in a way that you never thought was possible. You just got it in a nutshell. In the last few minutes here, you got a nutshell of what my entire journey has been like. One step at a time, making small changes that over 6 years became this thing that I look back and don't recognize myself. If I met myself, the day one version of me, if I met him today, he would probably enrage the crap out of me. But I could tell you that I'm no longer him. No longer like him by any means necessary. And I never foresaw this version on me when I started on day one. So if this is your day one, decide you're willing and move forward. Everybody's capable. You have to decide, are you willing? Whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.